And today we have come down to the south coast to explore a very exciting place. There is a castle, and it's right on the very end of a long beach that protrudes into the ocean. This beach will take you the closest you can get on land to the Isle of Wight. And we are going to be doing some photography. We have come just outside a small town called New Milton, and the castle we're going to be visiting is Hurst Castle. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing a backpack, but that's misleading for today's video because today we're doing compact photography. I brought my large camera rucksack to make it easier to carry everything I was bringing. However, the camera equipment itself fits into this little hand carrier here. Now, this is actually the carrier for my Hohem gimbal, and inside we still have the gimbal, but I also have all of my vlogging set up, including the action camera I'm using to film this. And then down here I have the Canon 250D. When I said tiny, I meant tiny. This thing fits into anyone's hand. Now, I'm in danger of being flooded. These waves are getting quite close. So I'm going to start walking, and I'm going to put you in POV mode so you can see everything from my perspective. Now, in the distance here, I can see the Eye of the Needles, and there's also some rocky groin in front of it. And I'm thinking if I get the groin in the foreground and the needles in the background, that could look pretty cool. Now, the waves are pretty ferocious, and I don't want to get my feet wet this early in the trip. And with a 50mm lens, as we have here, we'll get a decent crop, but the needles will still be small. So I'm going to see what I can do, and I will show you the results.
Sweet honey, let's take it real soon. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it along. I said we got what you need, honey, come along.
Now, up on the ridge is where people tend to walk. However, I think down both of the sides, down on this side with the sea and down on the other side where there's a bit of a marshland, is actually the places to go. You get the views. On this side you get the needles, on the other side you get all of the water birds. And while I'm going to be on this side for a little bit to get the needles, once I've got tired of them, I'm going to head to the other side and we will look at the wildlife there. Now, with this photo I'm going to frame it so we have some blurred out rocks in the front as a foreground. Hopefully we'll get a wave crashing, and then in the background we have the rocks of that same groin but from the other direction. Now I've just got to wait for a good wave. That could be the one. We have a wave breaking, blurred out rocks in the foreground and the groin in the background. At the top here I can see the lighthouse at the very end as the prize for this long walk. I'm not sure exactly how long this walk is, but I'll pop it down in the corner for you now so you can see how much of a commitment it is going to see Hurst Castle and the lighthouse. Now, the weather today has turned out fantastic. I was expecting it to be pretty bad. The weather forecast said it was going to be completely cloudy. It was raining when I woke up, and now we have, well, the sky is not clear, but we have sun, and long may it last. We've come down to the other side of the mound now. There's not half as much wind down here, which is nice. And as you can see, we've got very still, very flat waters. This is great for wildfowl. At the moment, I can't see any, and the smell of seaweed is strong. Wow. But we're going to walk along, and hopefully we will see something. I see some boats up ahead, and of course the lighthouse is still straight ahead of us. I'm pleasantly surprised with how quiet it is out here today. I was expecting it to be very busy, what with it being the Easter holidays and the weather being decent. Now it is a long walk and the weather was meant to be cloudy, so that may have put people off. Equally, it benefits me because I don't have to wait for people to get out the way for the photos. It will be busier at the castle and at the lighthouse, but I reckon we are about halfway there. I'm not seeing much here today. There's really no wildlife around, and even if there was, my lens isn't long enough to capture it. Looking back to land and seeing that we are literally between two huge bodies of water is pretty cool. Now this bit must have been man-made, but it makes for a pretty cool landscape nonetheless. And here it tells us about some emergency work. A selection of wall at Hurst Castle's east wing has fallen. I'm not going to read it all, but that would explain why these huge yellow trucks keep on coming back and forth. Here they come again. Now those big yellow trucks have gone, we have a better view of the castle. Now this bit you can see right in front is a circle. This was a newer addition, I believe, in World War I or II. The original part of the castle is the bit right in the middle. We have some incredibly tall walls here, and I can see how that will have kept people out of this castle. And this would have been a great vantage point to be able to fight between here and the Isle of Wight. No one was coming between this bit of sea. There is a cool, what looks more modern tower up here. So I'm going to take a photo of that now. Because of this shade, the sun is blocked. So we're going to drop the shutter, which has been up in the thousands this whole time. It's now going to come down. I'm going to pop it about 400. My aperture is still 5.6 and my ISO is at 100. The sky is slightly overblown in this image, which is annoying. So I'm going to pop up that shutter speed a little bit. Let's go to 640. Now I can choose between those two photos. In that photo you can see we have the watchtower and we have the British flag floating in the background. And my vlogging camera, the DJI Action 2 here, has run out of battery, which was pretty quick for this camera. But here I am at the foot of the lighthouse, and I'm now using my Galaxy A15, a Samsung phone, to film this video. I hope the quality isn't too terrible. It's completely silent over this side of the castle. It's baffling me how quiet Hurst Castle is today. I'm using it to my advantage, and we're going to get some close-ups of the lighthouse now. It turns out there's actually very few photos you can get of a lighthouse when you're at the bottom of it. So I'm gonna have some lunch. It's about 12:30. I've packed myself a bit of a baguette. Oh wow, that smells nice. In here, I have tuna, cheese, and spring onion. This was a baguette I made yesterday, but I couldn't eat it all. So I've wrapped it up and hopefully it'll still be nice. It's in some tiger bread. Comment your opinions on tiger bread in the comments down below because there's a lot of varying opinions. And then I have some grapes. So this should be a grape lunch. At the foot of Hurst Lighthouse.